So, welcome to another episode of Blah Blah from STAAH. Today, we're here with Reginald Pereira, the CEO of Aariana Hospitality, who also manages the marvelous Tanjung Ru Resort in Langkawi. So, welcome to the show, and thank you for being here. So, how are things in sunny Malaysia?
A very good day to you, Kevin. Things are beautiful. Not so much sunny Malaysia, I would say sunny Langkawi, because I've been told that Kuala Lumpur, which is the capital, it's been raining, thunderstorms over the last couple of weeks. So I think we're lucky to have some beautiful sunshine here in Langkawi.
Great. Stuck in paradise, eh?
Yeah, you could say that.
So let's go on to a question. So I know you've got an interesting short story to share, but could you just tell us briefly how you got into hospitality and how you are where you are now?
Well, actually, my other siblings, they all went into professions like engineering, accountancy, law, and I wanted to take up the footsteps of my late father, who was in the Royal Malaysian Police Force.
Right.
Unfortunately, my late mom said that she's not going to have anything to do with that, because she said, I already have one family member who I do not know if he's going to come back when he goes to work in the morning, so I'm not going to have my son also in the same profession. So I just then was thinking what actually I wanted to do, because I really didn't want to go. I'm not a bookworm, so I didn't want to go into one of these, science professions or even a lawyer and all that. So I saw this movie, Hotel. All right, it was a book written by Arthur Haley, and it revolved around this gentleman managing a hotel. And I said, it looks to be a very interesting profession. And I decided, okay, I would like to do that. And that's how it all started. And by the same token, I mean, coincidentally, at that time, there was a roadshow and preview about this new English-speaking hotel school in Switzerland. They were the first hotel school in Switzerland to offer hotel management in English. So I went for this preview. It looked amazing to be able to go to Switzerland. I mean, of course, the snow-capped mountains are the ones that attracted me. And voila, I ended up in Switzerland, and that's how I got involved in the hotel industry.
Can you share with us here at Blah Blah with a memorable moment that you experienced in the hotel industry? I'm sure you got loads of stories, but there must be one that stands out.
Well, to be frank, of course, during my time in Switzerland, I was lucky enough. I was working at this ski resort above Montreux. Montreux is very famous for the Montreux Jazz Festival. And during my time there, when I was undergoing my training at this ski resort, I had the privilege of meeting the late Freddie Mercury and the Queen. They came there for dinner. Another British actor, James Mason, and the family of the late Charlie Chaplin. So I thought that was, something that sticks in my mind.
And James Mason's one of the, RIP's one of the great sort of people of the last great era of cinema. So that would have been fantastic.
Oh yes, because the advantage about James Mason, he was staying at our place for about 10 days to 2 weeks, he and his wife. So I was the only fluent English-speaking staff at the resort. So we did get along quite well, and he said he was trying to tempt me to follow him back and be his personal butler. Unfortunately, I was still in the midst of studies, so I couldn't do that.
Well, that could have changed your life in a very funny way, couldn't it?
Yeah, could have.
I guess on a serious note, so I know this lockdown, COVID thing, I mean, let's just talk about, what do you think are the most important areas that a business should focus on? And I know that it's difficult and different in different places, but from your experience, what are the main key areas a hotel should focus on, in your opinion?
Well, you see, we are facing a pandemic like we have never faced before. Reason being is it's a global All right. When it first COVID still first came to our shores, we did not expect it to last as long as it has lasted. We thought it would be over and settled by April. But having said that, we had already strategized, all right, and planned on what we were going to do, which included cost-saving measures, scaling down the operations of the resort, and of course, getting staff to multi-skill. All right. Then we went to the next phase, which was when the complete lockdown was enforced on March 18. What we had to do is think of other avenues to get revenue. And one of it, we were the first hotel, in fact, in Langkawi to started doing food delivery services, right? And we managed to capture a substantial amount of revenue, which helped to pay some of the expenses. I think the reason also because we kept the resort open, but we wanted to make sure that the staff had something to do. And food delivery seemed to be something, at least the kitchen, F&B staff, other staff were helping with delivery. So the staff was still motivated to work rather than just come and then, lay idle. So I think that helped us a lot. And it's just these kind of things, have made everyone, we are not talking about only the Tanjung Rhu resort, we are talking about the industry on a whole. Everyone had to think out of the box and look at areas where we never thought that we'll have to bother looking at when it comes to cost saving and how to generate income.
Use what you have and look for new markets. And, I think you're right. It's important that you've done what you can and make sure you maintain as much of your team as you possibly could during a difficult time. And good work there, Reginald. So, okay, something a bit more lighthearted. When things get back to normal, if they ever do, what's going to be your next holiday destination and why?
Of course, as I told you, you said one of my favorite places is Switzerland. And I was scheduled to make a trip over the last 18 months. Of course, work. First it was work, and then after that it was the entire lockdown. So hopefully, when international borders open, Switzerland, here I come. But I only travel there in the winter because I go there for the cold, not for the summer, because we got beautiful summers in Malaysia.
Why not? Okay, so for those of you who don't know, Reginald is also has a long-standing relationship with the Malaysian Association of Hotels, and I believe he's still the secretary of the Kedah and Perlis chapters. There's a lot of talk in the industry about what hotel associations, tourism associations can actually do to help their members. As someone who's been involved with these guys for quite a while, what, in your opinion, are the three things that the MHA can do to best help the industry right now?
All right. Of course, I'm speaking as I used to be the CEO, the position that I left in 2014, but I'm still involved in the association in different capacity. I think MAH has, from day one of this pandemic, right? Not that they have not championed the cause of the industry all along. I think they've been very vocal, all right? They have pushed forward a lot of initiatives to the various government agencies on how the government could support the industry and subsidize certain incentives for the industry. And they continue to do so, especially when it comes to tariffs, right? Electricity tariffs were on a high. They managed to champion that and get us a reduction. They managed to also get some of the taxes, right? Tourism tax also waived, or rather until there is an improvement for the industry. And of course, another one that they championed was the wage subsidy program, where the government subsidized hotels. I mean, companies that retain their workforce. So the government subsidize part of their salaries, and I think these are the kind of things that has helped and kept us going. They continue to do so in promoting domestic tourism. They continue to do so in trying to, in championing green travel bubbles among the domestic travel as well. So I think they are very, very active, very vocal, and it has really helped the industry on a whole in the past 8 months since the lockdown.
That's good feedback. I know that the industry in Malaysia, from where I'm sitting, looking at the region, Malaysia has definitely been one of the better success stories in the region. And I think that when you look at what's happening in some of the other countries in Southeast Asia and the damage that's been done to hotels, I think Malaysia should be quite proud of its results. So that's brilliant. Thank you. I guess one thing I'd like to ask you, and this is more a personal thing, if you were sitting down with a young professional who's just about to enter into the hospitality industry at this moment in time, what would be the best bit of advice that you would give them?
Well, I was also in education before. I was in hospitality education, right? I've come across thousands of students. Some of my former students are now holding key positions. And then, to me, if you're any young professional coming out of college or university looking for a position, this is the time they should go in, because hotels will definitely want them. And number two, I think the most important thing is that they're going to get an experience. I think they're not going to get again. All right, not every day do we have a global pandemic. So by going into the industry now, there is going to be a learning curve that it'll be. I mean, no amount of money able to buy, can buy. All right, you're not going to study this in university. You're not going to study this in hotel school. It's going to be a real life situation, and I'll say, do not be disheartened. Apply. I'm sure there'll be hotels out there willing to take you on. In fact, we will take you on as well, even giving you an internship for 18 months, and I'm sure that you're going to learn a lot.
Okay, so last serious question. You've had a lot of responsibilities over the years. You have a business that's involved in training and talent search for hospitality. You've had a great time in the chalets near Montreux, and you've obviously run this hotel, beautiful property down in Langkawi. At the end of the day, what are the things that you do to relax?
Well, is this a serious question or is a?
Yeah, no, serious. What do you do to relax?
Well, at the end of the day, all right, when you had a hard day of work, hard day at the office. I mean, sometimes I leave the office about 8 o'clock, all right, and it's nothing like going and sitting down. Of course, I'm privileged. I've got such a beautiful view, all right, and having a nice cold beer or gin and tonic, all right, and I think that is what will just ease your mind. In fact, I think better after midnight. So sometimes I come up with ideas in the middle of the night, and I send an email to myself. Okay, this is what we should do, and I have to bring it up at the next day's meeting.
Okay, well, look, wonderful, Reginald. Thank you so much. Before you leave, I'm going to ask you some blah blah at STAAH random questions that you don't know the answers to, and just answer quickly the first thing that comes into your mind. So, Malaysia, of course, I grew up in Malaysia, so I know it very well. Malaysian food is some of the best in the world. Are you a kway teow or a nasi lemak guy?
You just said it, kway teow.
Kway teow. Okay, now I know you like your older films. That's one way I think you like to relax too. So, Casablanca or Lawrence of Arabia?
Casablanca.
Casablanca. Okay, preference: breakfast meeting, lunch meeting?
Breakfast meeting.
Okay. Switzerland: fondue or chocolate?
Chocolate.
And lastly, and not least, one word, just one word that you feel describes your career.
Excellent.
Good man. So this was Blah Blah at STAAH with Reginald Pereira. For those of you who get the chance to go to Malaysia at some point, do make your way down to the beautiful, beautiful area of Langkawi. You will not be disappointed, and who knows, you might bump into Reginald while you're there. But Reginald, thank you for your time today.
Thank you for your time as well, Kevin. Have a good day and good weekend.
Thank you. Cheers.